everyone, welcome to our UDL tutorial. My name is Kate Mastronicola and my co-presenter is
Ashley Grunbaum.
And we are here to walk you through Cast UDL Studio as a resource. This is a really cool site because it is browser-based and it allows you to create lessons and material centered around texts while incorporating a bunch of multimodal sources. So it's not just a text that you would read, but you can bring about a bunch of different resources to create this hypertext of all of the things that students would help engage with when they are reading class material. And this is a great site because it reduces a lot of barriers to learning because you're not limited to just one content area. This will work with any kind of text, a literary text, an informational text, regardless of content area. It's got a lot of embedded tools that Ashley's going to talk about in a second. It also gives an assessment that is embedded without. And this is neat because this is something that can be used asynchronously or in the actual class. Now, Ashley's going to actually walk you through what some of this looks like.
All right, so here's the main page of this program here. It's free. So if you go here to click Discover Great Projects, these are ones that are previously already done for you. If you look here on the left, this is kind of how they filter it out. You can search from grade level, you can search content area, or down here you can select standards that you are wanting to get across to your students. Go back here to the main page just to kind of walk through an example here, the Cast of Amontillado. If we go ahead and click that, the first thing that pops up is the author, some of the different things on what is in this story, the content area, the grade level, the goal, purpose of the story, and the description. Also down here, you can see some of the core standards that are within this that you could use for this story. And below here are some different comments that other teachers and other people have made for this source. So if we click start reading here, glossary is up here for some of the vocabulary words that students may not know. And up here also it says some of the goals that are going to be within the story. If you look down here, if you click the plus sign, it kind of tells you what the picture is and where they got that source from. If you scroll down even more, down here are some audio recordings of this story so it can read it to you. If you click the next page here, just going to show you a couple more features. They embedded a YouTube video, and if you click up here, it also shows you the lyrics if you'd like to follow along or if you're not too sure what they're saying. Also, if you click some of these words by themselves, it will go ahead and show you exactly what that word is and what it means. Also down here below, if it says tell me about it, these are where the students can go in and they can choose how they would like to submit their work. They can either write it, they can record it with voice recordings, they can draw it, or they could upload it. And then also over here, this little alligator, it can kind of gives you a prompt is what a teacher would say to get a student into thinking about that question. If we look at one more page here, there are some check your understandings. Again, just different variations of how you can submit those answers. So down below, there are also some that give you immediate feedback, as well as some that you have to explain your thinking. One more thing that is very cool about this is you could highlight something that you would like to use later, so it's easy to find when you return, and then you can also erase that as well. And there are also some great, interesting things about CAST.
So like Ashley pointed out, the tools that are embedded help reduce barriers to student learning because it gives different ways to interact with the text. Reading can be really intimidating, and by having those different elements and features in there, it makes things more accessible and engaging. Not only do you have pre-created lessons, but you can also build your own. This is a bit of a limitation just because there is a learning curve to creating things in this studio. This is not something that we would recommend you use for a one-shot lesson and wing it. If you're going to build out a text, you have to really consider the different ways that you're going to create access for your learners. If you're going to include videos, if you're going to include audio, there's a time commitment to this. So getting the hang of it is something that would require some practice. It is also unclear to us how this could be assigned on a large scale to a whole class. We don't see anything in here that allows for an easy integration to a learning management system. So if you wanted to assign to a Google Classroom, where the questions go that students ask is a little unclear. You can pre-slug answers in there, but like larger, longer responses are a little bit harder to determine. So those are all considerations to think about when you're using this, but ultimately this resource has a lot of cool applications. So in the use page up at the top, you can see the different things that you can include, and it gives you a starting point of here are resources where you can pull things from that are copyright free and open source. So hopefully this gave you a quick snapshot of this resource, and now you get to go forth and do, and good luck playing around with the UDL Studio. Thanks for watching.